So stupid, dude. I don't understand. There, now we're live. As a heads up, we're live. Yeah, you are. I don't know how I'm sounding. Sounded okay? Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I will look at new releases. You guys recorded last week, right? Without me? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Oh, Callisto Protocol's out, and it's not getting very good reviews. Midnight Suns is out, too. And I guess that is doing okay, yeah? I think it's getting pretty good reviews, too. Wait a minute. Crysis 2 Remastered has been out already, right? This is just now a Switch release? Well, maybe you should. Let me see. Yeah, it already came out. Screw it. We ain't talking about games that are already out that are just Switch releases now. Because ain't nobody playing shooters on Switch, okay? It's not happening. People who are serious. Oh my gosh. It's a $40 release for a Destiny 2 gun. Oh, that's why. Oh, Inscription's out for the Switch. That's cool. Sounds good to me. I got a bunch of stuff to talk about, and it's all going to be a surprise. Well, I can't write it down until we actually talk about it. So then it's a surprise. Mm-hmm. Let me. Oh, you know what? You say something again? Oh, we're not streaming any of your audio to YouTube. Let me fix it. Let me fix it.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Da 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 da.
There we go.
Oh,
should be fixed
nice.
now.
Hello, Internet. It is I. All of me now.
Alrighty. Discard projects. Test recording. Test recording.
Testing.
All right. I will be back in like 30 seconds.
All right. In the meantime, everybody get ready for this. Are you ready for this? Barrel, 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 barrel. Barrel, 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 barrel. Ready to bring some video games out to do the thing that we do? I'm going to like this video. Secretly, I liked it. Got
Yo.
a treat for everybody tonight. There we go. Hey.
Hiya. Do we ever?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna rate the quality of this show by the number of smiley face bead people that, and I think we're at least, maybe not to the top, but maybe this much. I don't know.
We'll see where we're at by the end of this.
We will. It could go either way. If you pay for the battle pass, you start out almost at the tippy top.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you get like 30 free levels. If you buy the premium battle pass. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he says.
Oh yeah.
Ready? 1,
Okay.
2, 3. 224-ish.
All right.
All right. Let's do this. Let's do this.
We are gonna do it like we've never done it before.
Or like we've always done it.
It could be like everything you've ever seen us do, actually.
This is episode like 8012, I think.
we may have found our groove by now, though. I think
we have broken the RSS feed. Oh, did you know the website was down for about an hour or two?
Well, I know it was doing some weird stuff when I tried to make updates through WordPress.
I lost my wallet. I lost my wallet, and I canceled my debit card. And my backup payment method was my debit card.
Oh.
And my credit card was expired, and so it was hitting my backup method on the hosting service. And then I canceled my debit card, which was the backup. So the backup also failed.
Oh man.
So
wow.
A number of websites that I have on there were not working.
That's funny.
I just had to update my billing info, but
it eventually fixed itself. I mean, it fixed itself, I'm sure.
It's true. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Game by Show podcast. It's your favorite podcast for December the 5th, 2022. This evening, my friends, it's just Jeremy and I. My name's LeGrand. That's Jeremy. Say hi, hey. Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy. Hey.
If you are fortunate enough, before I'm gonna let you finish, but
okay.
If you were fortunate enough to be watching us on the YouTube, you will see what handsome gentleman Jeremy is. You'll be able to match the voice to this very devilishly handsome young man,
true.
Jeremy Lamont, and you'll be able to see my crazy hair and my messy office.
You know what? I think LeGrand, in and of himself, is sort of classically handsome. Like there are statues, the Caesars, carved out of marble. Here for you, colorized on the Game Bytes Show podcast.
Listen, the Greek were eating a lot more healthy than LeGrand eats. Okay? let's just say that.
You know what I heard once? I don't know if this is true, but I heard an art know-it-all or something say that we always think of the old statues as like being very like classy and that white is so. But apparently they like painted them up all gaudy, and the paint has just like worn off now.
Yeah.
I've heard. I don't know if that's actually true, but I've heard that before.
That's probably true.
We didn't have better taste back in the day.
Like, oh, look at these beautiful white marble statues. Like, no, they used to be ugly.
See, what that means, though, is that the second in line for the high point of art and culture and humanity now is Lisa Frank Trapper Keepers, because that was the number 2. It was like the Greek statues, the Greek and Roman sculptures Lisa Frank. Now that we know that that was gaudy, Lisa Frank is the
No problem.
high watermark.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Leonardo da Vinci himself designed Trapper Keepers. He actually was the creator. He's the inventor of the Trapper Keeper, if I recall.
Originally, it was called the Da Vinci document holder.
I learned about that in Assassin's Creed 2.
That's pretty great. That that education mode is really helpful. Like it lets you know about all these little tidbits. Hey, I liked the new Super Mario Brothers movie trailer. What did you think of it? Did you watch it?
Yes.
What do you think?
Sure don't remember anything about it. I remember the Rainbow Road.
Okay. Yep. So they're making references to that.
I remember Mario talking more.
Yep. Mario also gets beat up by Donkey Kong.
So I remember seeing Donkey Kong. Yes, I saw Donkey
reference.
Kong. Yeah. It seems like they're teeing up like a multiverse Nintendo thing, right?
Right. Because Peach talks about the many galaxies and stuff. So there's a Super Mario Galaxy reference. They're kind of bringing everything in. Mario types a lot. He teaches some typing in this trailer.
I think they probably should have left that stuff for the sequel. They should have developed, the characters a little bit more before they jumped into the multiverse.
How many movies do you think this franchise is going to get in theaters before it starts going straight to home release?
They'll keep making them as long as people go watch them.
Yeah,
and I think that people won't stop going to watch them. There's a lot of movies that, well, let's be honest. Movies go to theaters, and then within 6 weeks they're on streaming somewhere, HBO or Rent.
I think we're finally getting Top Gun Maverick.
That's been out for a while, dude.
Well, you've been able to get it. Like I bought it, but I'm talking about like on
like free streaming, like HBO or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's free streaming.
Yeah.
But I did. I bought that one as soon as it came out because that's how I watched it. I did not see it in theaters, but still good.
Still it's a good one. Speaking of seeing Top Gun in theaters, I know that you have your nice sound system at your house, and I wasn't here last week, but my Black Friday purchase was a sound setup for a TV. Like, nice. I've never had an actual good sound system.
That's exciting
at my house.
That's super cool.
I bought it was on sale at Costco, but I have a 5.2 Dolby Atmos system.
I was just going to ask if it was an Atmos.
With like a $500 receiver that I bought with it and a big ass subwoofer. So it's the 0.1 is the sub and the 0.2 is the Atmos.
Oh, that's interesting. So what is that? Is that something you put in the ceiling or what's the...
So it's actually pretty cool. So I got the big tall, like 3 or 4 foot tall speakers. They come tomorrow, by the way. I ordered them on Black Friday. They come tomorrow. So it's like a 4 foot tall, those little speakers. And then they actually have a little speaker that sits on top that's pointed at the ceiling at an angle. And it reflects off the ceiling to get you that above you sound.
Huh. That's the interesting.
That's like across the board. If you aren't putting speakers in your ceiling, that's the way that they do. Like every brand has speakers like that. So
it'll point up at the ceiling. You'll have to let me know how that works because it seems like that's the kind of thing that they would do it, and then you'd be like, nah, like I can't really tell.
I don't know. And I mean, I bought they're Klipsch speakers, which are high end shit. It's like a $2,500 system that I did not pay $2,500 for.
Right.
But it's because it was Black Friday and it was Costco, so it was like hella deal. But
right.
Those Atmos speakers with it's actually a built-in speaker. The tall 4 foot speaker actually has the Atmos built in as part of the speaker, so it's all one unit. So you actually connect 2 sets of speaker wires to the back of the one speaker, one for the Atmos and one for the.
How does it work that you would aim sound up that you wouldn't hear it straight, but you would hear it bounce reflected off the? Is it like faster sound? How does it?
I don't. Sounds pretty damn fast, dude. I think sound when it's traveling 2 meters is actually pretty quick. It's pretty instantaneous. So I don't know, and I wonder if any games all of the major speaker makers like have this type of setup for Atmos. Yeah. If you're not drilling ceiling speakers in, then this is the way.
Right. So I wonder if something like Top Gun might be good with that. I bet like God of War. I bet God of War Ragnarok would support it.
I hope so. I haven't looked it up to see what like the PS5 or the Xbox supports or whatever. But the first movie that we're watching on it is Die Hard. That's what we decided.
Nice.
And then my son wants to watch
Hans Gruber fall from the top.
That's right. My son wants to watch Bullet Train.
Bullet Train is great.
Is it good? Okay.
It's
Cool.
it's way like I wish I had picked it up. I wish I had gone to it in the theater. It's really good. It's
Okay.
like the Quentin Tarantino. Yeah, it's I really like it.
Is it okay for a 13-year-old? Because my son
Uh,
is down for it.
yeah, I mean, it's probably okay for your 13-year-old. It's probably fine. I mean, there's you
Okay.
know language and violence and stuff like that. I mean,
Well,
it's like a Tarantino movie.
He came and found me. He's like, Dad, we got to watch this. Look, Bullet Train's on Netflix or something. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know that was on your radar, son. But I will totally. I'm like, let's wait, because he wanted to watch it like yesterday. I'm like, dude, let's wait until the speakers are in. Then we'll watch it with the big system. And
It's got kind of that Brad Pitt goofy hitman, and also like you know how Tarantino always like had the great soundtracks to his. He always picked like these licensed track. It's got that. It's got all of that, but it's 2022 now. So I think you'll like it. I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, Brad Pitt in the Hollywood movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. Did you ever see that? Another Night in Hollywood, or anyway,
No.
he was really good in that movie. He was like, it was him and Leonardo DiCaprio were like the main characters or whatever.
Wow, how about that? Yeah, he can be in good movies when the situation calls for it. So yeah, I do like Bullet Train. It's good.
Yeah, cool, man. Well, good. I'm excited now to watch it because I didn't know anything about it. I'm like,
yeah, you'll like it. I think you'll enjoy it. Let us know. Give us an update on the Game Bytes Show movie cast.
I will do, and I'm excited to set up my speaker system tomorrow. I got my subwoofer already, so I ordered the subwoofer directly from Klipsch.
Oh, I was gonna say,
I got the receiver already because it came via UPS, and then the other things have to be delivered via Costco freight. So
the logistical systems of the world are
it's actually called Costco Logistics, and so they actually like, hey, we have a 13-hour window tomorrow where we may show up with your stuff, and I'm like, okay, well, okay, so
that's
anyway,
great.
I'm pretty excited. Again, it's been a long time. I've had like shitty sound bars for ever, right? Like really low end $150 sound bar.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to crank it up and. I actually something interesting that I did notice is I hooked all my devices up to the receiver already, and the receiver pipes into the TV, right? And the receiver is actually an 8K receiver, so it's a pretty top of the line, whatever. It's a pretty nice.
All the pixels in your audio.
And I did notice, and maybe I'm seeing something weird, but it seemed like when the PlayStation was running through the receiver, that the picture was clearer than when it was plugged directly into the TV, and I don't know why.
You know, just make sure that your cables are all up to spec too.
Oh, I
have like great hardware.
I bought high-end cables too. I did that, so I have all that too.
Nice.
I'm ready to go, man. Like this has been a long time coming. So
good. Welcome to the future.
Yeah, it's about damn time. That's what I have to say about that.
Welcome to the future.
The other plan is to make sure that the kids have a cool place to hang out, you know, so that when they're with their buddies and they're teenagers, that they are in a place that I know where they're at and they're being safe.
Right. I think that
is the ultimate goal of this, because technically, you know, whatever. But I mean, I am excited for it. So
nice.
Anyway, I've got a bunch of video games to talk about.
All right.
I got a couple quick mentions.
Okay.
Well, it depends on how much you want me to talk about any one of these items. Okay.
All right. Okay.
First of all, I got my 3DS sitting right here.
Nice.
It's back in business.
Right.
I got a little grip. A little rubberized grip for it, which makes it way better. It makes it way easier to hold. Anyway, guess what I'm running on my 3DS? Take a wild guess.
Super Mario Paper. What's the other Paper Jam one?
You are way off. It's called Pokemon Sun.
Oh wow!
I was bored and I was sitting there and I wanted a game to sit in my bed and play, and I pulled out Pokemon. Anyway, I don't have a lot to say about it, but I'm playing Pokemon for the first time.
I mean, now's the time. I mean, Pokemon is big right now. So
I have played more Pokemon on this 3DS, and by that I mean I've played like an hour and a half or less than
on any other
Pokemon release of all time. So
nice.
That's on its way. I have a friend of mine who just landed a job at Blizzard Entertainment. And he told me his first day was today, and he was like, yo, they gave me a free copy of World of Warcraft, and I got a free copy of Diablo, and I got all this Blizzard balance that I can spend on whatever, and it's like part of my job to play video games now at a certain time of the day, and we get together and play games as a team and stuff, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, well, what are you going to play? You going to play WoW, dude? Because he has WoW, and he's never played it, and so I'm like, well, because World of Warcraft Dragonflight came out, I think last week it came out, and I know nothing about it. I saw like the launch trailer, Anyway, long story short, I subscribed to WoW again,
Oh gosh.
and I think it's going to be like I normally play, which is fairly single player, casual.
Right.
I haven't told any of my friends that I'm playing it, aside from
Wow.
this one friend of mine who now works at Blizzard.
Game Byte
And
show exclusive. Legrand
and
is playing World
so
of Warcraft again.
and so I'm not. So it's not going to be anything hardcore, but I have played maybe like 3 hours of that, and it's World of Warcraft, and it's fine. And there's a new
And now you can
class.
fly around anywhere you want, right? Isn't that like the main thing about it now?
Yeah, so you can launch up into the air, and you have this really fast mount, or if you're a dragon, they added a new race of dragon men, and they fly around really fast, and they can transform into humans as well because, well, World of Warcraft. Anyway, so
Do they have enough new lore and content now that we can get a Warcraft 4, do you think?
Warcraft, where are they going to pick it up?
I don't know. I mean, I have no idea where that series has gone. I mean, I know you and Dale talk about it, and you're like, "Oh yeah," and then this dragon like went to the underworld and
listen,
they got this big sword, and I'm like, I don't know.
It's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's fine. It's more World of Warcraft. Let's just say that. But it has been pretty engaging up to this point. There's a new class which I'm playing, the new race, the dragon people which I'm playing, and we'll see how long I last. I did have Blizzard balance left over from when I got out of WoW last time, so it didn't cost me much to get spun up again.
Yeah.
And well, here we are, friends. So I don't have a lot to say about that. Maybe in a future episode. On top of that, Call of Duty DMZ came out a couple weeks ago.
Right.
And I think we need to talk about this a little bit because it's something very, very interesting and cool.
Now, first of all, is it different from the other stuff they've done for
yes,
because this is the battle royale PvE type.
It's not even a battle royale. It's it's more of a, so there's a genre of hardcore shooter games with high risk, high reward games such as Hunt Showdown, such as Marauders is one that just came out in early access. Escape from Tarkov. There's another one that I've been playing a little bit that's kind of future themed. But anyway, the whole point of these games is that you build a loadout of gear that you have. You drop into a map. You do a bunch of stuff. You find a bunch of more gear. You maybe kill some guys, and then you try to get to an extraction point and get out at the same time.
Okay.
There is no circle that encloses, so there's not a battle royale in that sense, and that there's not fight until there's one person left. You just drop in with another whole, who knows, I don't even know how many people drop in at any given moment. But you drop in, you engage with the world, and then you get out on a helicopter.
So it's like the what was the dark zone in
there's another corollary. So
I'm trying to remember what that game is called.
Division.
The Division.
Yeah. So that's another one where you kind of get in, you're in there, there's NPCs, there's like, bad guy AI, there's items to find, there's weapons to find, there's stuff to do, there's little quests to take on, and there's also other players that are trying to do the same thing, right? And there's only a handful of little extraction points around the map. And when you trigger an extraction point, people can see smoke flying, so you kind of know where people are. And it's a pretty good one of those. Like, there's a lot. I mean, Hunt Showdown is this type of game. Like, you get in, you find stuff, you kill a boss, you get a bounty, and you try to get out, right, before anyone else kills you,
right, and
takes your stuff. And so all these games are kind of that same style, except for this doesn't have like the circle, like, or the. There's nothing that's really driving people to fight,
right?
Aside from the desire,
other than the greed of because if they're like, oh, you're extracting, they think you've got some good stuff, they're going to go get you and then extract themselves.
Right, exactly. And so when you drop into the map, there's a number of little points on the map that you can go and start quests, and you can kind of get like, oh, you need to go and pick up this briefcase, or go kill this high value target, or go and actually find this other enemy team and kill them. And so there's like,
so you can have a mission against other players.
Yes, and when you pick up one of those, you have like 3 minutes to track them down and kill them. They're alerted that somebody's trying to come kill you, but they don't know where you are, but you know exactly where they are on the map. And so their goal is to hold out for a few minutes or fight you off, and your goal is to kill them. And if you kill them, you get a reward, you get money, you can spend the money on weapons, and whatever you extract with out of the game, weapons and things like that, you can bring back into the game on your next round and do it all over again.
Right.
On top of that, there's a whole progression system with different factions that will give you quests, which kind of drive you to do different things around the map. So pick up a quest from one of the factions that says, hey, go in and extract with like 5 grenades. And that's like a quest, right? Or go and pick up some items and drop them at this point, or go and kill X, Y, or Z, or go and do random item. And so it's like a quest that you pick up from outside of the game. You drop into it's kind of like Fortnite or whatever. You get a little quest, you drop in, you do the thing,
and you know that that's what you want going in,
and that's your goal. And then once you do it, you end up getting rewards. You unlock weapons. You get weapons as rewards, which you can then take into the game. And
are the weapons and items compelling? I mean, is it just like a better machine gun, or how does it feel like when you get like, oh, I got 5 grenades. Now I'm going to take 5 grenades into the next match, and I'm going to be a ruler.
Yeah, it does make a difference. It does make a difference if you have a better weapon, and the weapons in this game. And so, unlike other types of games like this, like Call of Duty Battle Royale, like you're finding weapons and you're finding attachments and you're sticking them on, and you're making your gun better. And there's like different tiers of guns. In this mode, like you find a gun and that's it. So there are chests all over the map. There's a train that drives around the map on like a set course. And if you get on the train, it's got a bunch of loot on it. So people are always kind of gunning for the train, trying to get the loot off of that. The bullet train, right?
The bullet train.
Anyway, it's a pretty cool. I mean, according to Activision, they've been working on this mode for a very, very, very long time. And when it comes to this genre of games, and I'm going to include Hunt Showdown in this, but Hunt Showdown, Marauders, Escape from Tarkov, they all have their own level of jankiness to them, especially the ones that are in early access. Right. And they have their own, level of hardcore and their own whatever. And this game feels, I mean, it's got the Call of Duty polish, but it's one of those style of games, which makes it incredibly attractive to people who like that style of game because it is incredibly well done. It's very fun to play, and ultimately, anything you do in all of Call of Duty, so whether you're playing the standard, deathmatch multiplayer, whether you're playing Battle Royale, whatever it's called, Warzone, or whether you're playing this DMZ mode, all of it goes to feed your battle pass, your overall account level. So everything you do in the game, doesn't matter which mode, goes towards your overall progression.
So is this part of the Warzone? Is it like a separate mode in Warzone? And Warzone is its own standalone free-to-play thing, right?
Yeah, Warzone and this are both free-to-play. So Warzone and this are both free. The only thing, you do have to buy Call of Duty if you want to play the campaign or play the standard multiplayer. But Warzone and DMZ are both.
I think both. I think they both sound more interesting than the standard multiplayer. I wonder what the spread of players is like. I wonder what people gravitate toward.
What do you prefer? I haven't tried out the new Warzone at all because the DMZ just is more compelling to me just because of the gameplay. Like, there's just more to do. Like the AI is actually very, very good. And so there's times where you'll just get your ass kicked by AI or you'll come up across some harder AI guys. There's bosses in the game. They're actually adding raids to the game. Where there's going to be these co-op encounters or these missions where you have to go in with a group of people and take them out. So they're actually doing quite a bit to the standard Call of Duty formula, even outside of the Warzone, which is now brought over into this. And so I believe that the map, I haven't played Warzone in this game yet, but I believe the Warzone and the DMZ maps are the same. And a lot of the areas are based off of standard multiplayer maps from the regular multiplayer. So if you play multiplayer deathmatch or whatever, you're going to recognize locations and layouts and things like that in the DMZ map. So this is the same thing that they did with last Warzone. The last big Warzone map was the same type of situation. So it's pretty cool that it is free to play. One of the big jokes about Call of Duty with Modern Warfare 1 was that the install size was like 200 gigs or something ridiculous.
Yeah, I'd really like this to be on a streaming service, and I don't think it is because it can't be on Xbox because of PlayStation. It's not on GeForce Now because Activision doesn't do that. So I'm gonna have to install this somewhere.
It is only 60 gigs. So for the whole thing,
that's not bad.
So it's not like, and I don't know what they did to tune it down from 200 and change down to 60, and that's 60 installed with the entire campaign because I have the campaign with all of multiplayer and all of Warzone and the whole 9 yards. So pretty optimized compared to the last Modern Warfare game, quite honestly.
Interesting. Well, so it sounds like they were listening to feedback. Well, that's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a unique game mode, and by unique I mean unique to Call of Duty. But since it is Call of Duty, it's got the Call of Duty polish to it. The gunplay feels great. It seems like they've got a lot of thought put into how they move people around the map and the risk versus reward and those types of, because it's easy for you could just hang out and not look for people or run away from gunfire if you wanted to and engage in the PvE content, find stuff and then extract and you'd be fine. But there's just a lot to do, and it's kind of like what a lot of people now are talking about Fortnite, where you get into Fortnite and half the time you're not even trying to fight people, you're just trying to do things to progress your quests and to level up your battle pass and stuff like that. So it's very kind of akin to that, where there's a lot more to do than just fight. It's more, what do you want to do? It's a big sandbox to kind of play around in the Call of Duty mode, right? So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool, and I think that people should check it out. DMZ, it's out now. It's been out for maybe 3 weeks. I put a bit of time into it. I only like playing with people that I like playing with people that I know, and
Yeah,
I only like playing with people that I know, and so I've been playing with my friends, and I don't play it solo. If I want to play Call of Duty, or if I want to just click on heads for a while, then I'll queue up team deathmatch or whatever and just play that.
Right.
Which is all still very good in Call of Duty. But this mode is something unique and fun and different, and it's got its hooks in a lot of my group of friends that play games, and it's awesome. So I think people should check it out. DMZ, nice. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. It's free I think it's on Steam. It's also on the Battle.net launcher, I would imagine.
Oh yeah.
So I actually have it on Steam.
Is it on console? It's got to be on console too, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. Okay. Yeah, it's on all the consoles aside from the Switch. It's on the consoles that matter. It's actually even on the old Xbox One. Still played on the old gen consoles, so it is always all backwards compatible there. The other thing is that it is completely cross play. So you log in, you connect an Activision account, and you're playing with everybody. So there's always people to play with, and it's good.
Very nice.
It's a good game.
You should also, if you're listening to this, get onto the Game Bytes Show Discord server and ping us for a game. Maybe we can get something going just in our little circle of expanded circle of friends on the Game Bytes Show Discord.
All right, can you give me like 2 minutes?
I sure can.
Okay, I'm gonna pause for 2 minutes.
Okay,
I'll be right back, everybody.
I'm gonna sing and dance. I'm gonna make this thing work. I'm gonna mark this down so that I can fix it here. Boo, boo, boo. Trying to think, what's something interesting to me this week? I watched. Actually, I gotta stop listening to myself now, because now that LeGrand's not talking, I can just hear myself. The Willow TV show. Like, I'm kind of interested in that. I'm a big Willow fan. I don't know if I've talked about this on the show before, but the movie came out like right at a sweet spot in my young life. I think I was 7 or 8 years old, and movies in the 80s, pretty awesome, especially fantasy movies. They don't make them like that anymore. And this Willow TV show's out. I have to say, it looks a little bit saccharine. Like, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, you can do it. Believe in yourself." And I don't know. I'm not super sure, but I think it's gotten pretty decent reviews from people. So I've got some friends who indicated that they might want to watch that. So maybe we'll have a Willow the TV show watch party. I can't get my kids interested in Willow. Regrettably, I have not been able to instill my sense of taste and appreciation for the fine arts into my children. So that's on me, I guess. But Willow's looking pretty interesting. That came out this week. This last week, Wednesday, I think, last Wednesday. So I think the way they're doing it is they're doing the whole season except the last episode, which is kind of weird. So kind of interested in checking that out sooner rather than later. I've got to decide what to do about a show that I was watching a while ago and then kind of fell off, called Severance, because it's getting a second season, and apparently got to be careful about spoilers for that kind of thing. It's one of those, I don't know, what would you call it? Like magical realism, but for edgy streaming services. So that's something else that's been on my mind. There's just a lot of TV that I have not been keeping up with. And I'm not sure if I actually want to. It just takes a lot of time to watch TV. So if you folks are out there watching some television, let us know about that. We do have a channel on the Game Bytes Show Discord server for whatever it is that you're interested in. I watched I guess I didn't talk about this at the beginning of the show, but I watched RRR, which is basically like the Bollywood action movie of the season. And it's 3 hours. And I've watched it twice. I spent 6 hours in the last week or two. I can't remember when it was, watching RRR. But it's pretty all right. I'm not 100% sure that it's not like Indian propaganda by the end. But it does all the things that you want a modern Bollywood action movie to do. I did get my younger daughter to watch RRR with me. So here he comes. Here he comes doing a Fortnite dance. You're gonna get us taken off YouTube for doing that Fortnite dance, that copyrighted dance move.
The Charleston, or what's
Charleston?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, do. I was just recollecting for the YouTube audience that I watched RRR, the Bollywood action movie of the season. But if you want to know more about that, you'll have to watch our expanded content on YouTube, because it is not making it into the audio show.
Wow.
Special benefits, bennies for our YouTube viewers.
I'll drink some water to that.
Nice. Cool. Well, this week I've been playing something that is brand new on Game Pass. In fact, spoiler alert, it's in the new releases on Game Pass.
What the?
I don't know what that is. It's not me.
That's a Discord sound.
It is. Is it not? Is it not what it's supposed to be?
What is going on?
Is it this call?
No.
Ringing in on...
What is going on?
It's the FBI.
God damn it, dude.
Wow. Weird.
I don't know, man.
I don't know what that was either.
Okay.
Well, this week I've been playing something brand new on Game Pass this week. In fact, spoiler alert, it's going to be on our new releases and freebies coming up here in just a bit. But I happen to notice it, and I know that this is, again, another one of those where I know that the soundtrack is imminently to be released on vinyl. And so I was like, well, maybe I'll try this out. It's called Eastward. And it came out last year, published by Chucklefish Games, which
what do they do? They do
they've done like all kinds of things. They did well, originally they did Starbound in like 2016.
Okay,
more recently they did Stardew Valley. They published they published several versions of Stardew Valley. Time Spinner, Risk of Rain they published, I think, once. And I wanted to say that they did Wargroove also. They did Wargroove. So they do kind of like pixely indie kinds of games. And so it came out last year, and every time I see it, for some reason, I think that it's like Wagons East or something, like that final John Candy movie before he dies. I don't know why, but that's just what I see when I think of it. In actuality, Eastward is so it's not developed by Chucklefish. It's actually developed by a company called Pixpill, and it is, I would say, in various descriptions of it, I see people saying that it's like an action RPG, but it is not an RPG. If anything, I would say that it's more akin to an adventure game with light action elements. It looks like a kind of modern version of something like maybe like, I don't know, Chrono Trigger or something like that. There's no turn-based combat. You walk around. So you play as a kind of a grungy older guy and like a young kind of adopted daughter. So it's kind of got that lone wolf and cub, The Last of Us kind of thing. But it is a 2D top down, like I said, adventure game with light action elements. You play a character of kind of silent protagonist named John, who you live and in the beginning you live in this kind of subterranean dystopian post-apocalyptic mole town, where everybody basically digs for stuff. And in fact, in the opening anime, they actually have an intro anime for the thing that plays before you start the game. It shows John finding this kind of magical girl in a, I don't know, like a cloning pod or something like that. And then she becomes the daughter. Her name is Sam. And the game kind of centers around, I would say it centers around episodic, sort of discreetly self-contained little episodes as John and Sam kind of traverse the world that is hinted at, that is kind of shown in vignettes in this opening anime. So there's a train that connects all of these different fantastical worlds together, but you don't know about that at the beginning, right? So that's something that you eventually take. The train is kind of what signals. Yeah, spoiler alert. There's a train that you see in the opening anime. But that's sort of what forms the bookends for these little episodes. And so you start out. The first adventure is in this molehill underground area where you kind of figure out the conspiracy that the mayor of the mole town, and when I say mole, they're all people. They're all like these like consarnate kind of Western, the dialogue is all like y'all and stuff like that. So you can kind of tell they've kind of got a dialect. But it's these diggers who are like kind of vaguely aware that there's a world above, but but maybe it's a myth and nobody talks about it because it makes the authorities angry. And you basically play principally as John, but eventually you unlock the ability to kind of switch back and forth between these characters. And Sam is kind of like a psychic character, and so far every episode that you play, you kind of unlock maybe a new ability for each character, for each person. But that's mainly the thing that stays. What it really feels like, it honestly feels like the game version of something like the Walking Dead TV show, where each episode or maybe each season is like, well, now the governor is like the big bad guy, or Negan or whatever. But even though the story carries from season to season, they kind of are aware of the past, but it doesn't really carry over like that. You don't go back, you only go forward. And the game is just very narrative in that way. It's actually very narrative, because one of the reasons that I think it most resembles an adventure game is not because you're managing a lot of inventory, but because there's just a lot of storytelling. And I guess that's not unique to adventure games. I guess you could say RPGs have that, but it's a lot of, honestly, it's almost too much dialogue. Sometimes the characters, and they use a lot of little scripting things, like sometimes characters will walk off in front of you and you can follow them. Sometimes the screen will fade out and then the character's gone and you can go find them later. Sometimes the dialogue is something that you have to press buttons to explicitly get through, but sometimes there's like little like barks from different people, like yay, yay, yay around. So they're using a bunch of different storytelling techniques, but it definitely revolves around the world that they're building and the story that they want to tell you. There is a light inventory system, which is mostly like healing items, maybe ammunition. The main weapon that you have is John has a frying pan, and he uses it to not only beat enemies, but also at the ends of little segments, you can also find a little cooking stove. And one of the things you can pick up are ingredients to cook things. So there's like this cooking system that you can do, finding, mushrooms and bacon and stuff around the world. And those, when you cook them, you can also do a little kind of like a little casino gambling one-armed bandit thing, a little what do they call that, a slot machine kind of thing. And if you get a good slot machine, then the healing item heals better, or gives you like overhealing or defense for some certain period of time, or whatever. Like it'll do different little special things. And the game is really well, I would say aesthetically looks really good. It looks really good. The music sounds really good. It's kind of cute. Again, it reminds me of Chrono Trigger, not only in the look even though it's not that pixely. It's not like an old school SNES, but it just kind of feels like it is.
Mhm.
And the music also similarly is kind of just very like, the town music is kind of hummable. The character music is kind of like, well, this guy's definitely the bad guy, and this dude's definitely like the goofy comic relief, and so on and so forth. And then they just kind of lead you through this story. There's a pretty easy to follow map system. Like, it'll always tell you what your objective is and actually where to go get it. There is a very generous fast travel system, so you don't have to traverse anything that you don't want to if you've already been there. The characters are kind of rote. John again is a silent protagonist. Sam is kind of like this cute little, like, she talks for the both of them, and she's like, she'll do a little bit of Greek chorus, like, "Oh, John, like da 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 da," but it's kind of cutely written. It's just there's kind of a lot of extra dialogue, and in some of the episodes there may be like a cute love story, and is it gonna come to fruition? No spoilers there. It doesn't, because the game keeps going. Yeah, I mean, it's the environments that you move from episode to episode are really different and kind of unique. And it's not just a real world post-apocalyptic setting. It's kind of fantastical. Again, there's kind of it reminds me a little bit. Did you ever see the show Into the Badlands, which was sort of like a kung fu with
No.
kind of some light supernatural, like superpowers kind of thing? It kind of reminds me of that. The enemies that you fight are like slugs and mushroom things, and credible. There's a lot of mushrooms. It kind of does look a lot like The Last of Us. You eventually do get into like some zombies and stuff like that. Again, spoilers, I guess. But just generally adequately conceived all around. The combat is really easy. There's nothing to, I mentioned you can switch back and forth between John and Sam. They want you to use her like psychic abilities, but they don't generally, you don't have to. You can just kind of go and hit things with the pan. There are some situations where it helps to, bubble a bad guy and kind of incapacitate him and then beat him with the frying pan, or you get guns eventually. But you don't really have to worry too much about the combat. There are light puzzles also, especially when you split the team up and turn off steam vents and push boxes and things to let the other one through, that sort of thing. But nothing too taxing. And generally, what it kind of feels like to me is these are the kinds of games that people our age played on the Super Nintendo. Mostly, I think of the Super Nintendo, but they don't make a lot like that these days. So for somebody who has already played stuff like this, it might not be super impressive. It might be sort of like, oh, quaint and kind of cute. Not enough to like really steal my heart. Not
Does
enough
the story
humor
drive it hard enough to make it
I think
worthy,
it
or is
does.
it okay?
I think it does.
Just okay.
It does. It's actually pretty good. The only downside is there's just sometimes more like I just noticed that I'm constantly hitting the button to progress through dialogue, but it's not a deal breaker. And generally the dialogue is well written. There's just a lot of it. And it's just, I just find myself having to just hit the button a lot to get through stuff. But all of the little scripted things, you'll recognize it from those SNES days. Characters kind of walk up and they talk and pace back and forth, and they'll emote with surprise and things like that. And then there are eventually boss battles and things, and those are also kind of formulaic bosses and stuff, but not in the bad way, just in the way that hit these 3 switches to make the boss vulnerable for a minute, then go hit him a whole bunch until the thing repeats again. So I would say it's a little bit more for people who are not already jaded on that kind of game. So teenagers maybe, or younger kids even, or if you just kind of have a sense of whimsy and you're kind of interested in that style of game. But overall not bad. And it's actually I've seen the how long to beat kind of. I haven't looked at the actual website, but it's like 20 to 30 hours, so it's
wow.
quite significant.
You think that would kind of drag a little bit, given the style of game?
I wonder a little bit, but again, the episodic nature of it means that you're playing a couple of hours and then you're on to a new scenario or a new setting, and the narrative has progressed by the time you get to the end of it. So if you enjoy the storytelling, and again, it's like it really reminds me of The Walking Dead, and there are some people who fell off of that because it's like, okay, here's a new bad guy, there's more zombies. Oh no, they left something back there. They've got to go back into the zombie herd,
It's
whatever.
just
So
like the comic books. Like,
yeah, right. So and people fell off of that. So here is kind of the same thing. We're going to a new place, but again, the environments are sufficiently different each time, and the characters really are. You do kind of invest in them a little bit. They pick up some new people as the story goes on. Some people are lost, and drop off. And it's generally pretty well told. I just kind of wish it were sometimes told with fewer dialogue boxes. And then again, there's the combat isn't too complicated. So, if that's the kind of thing that keeps you as a really robust combat system, this does not have that. So it really does kind of live or die based on the narrative, including the presentation, the environments, and the music. And I think it holds up. I think it does all right. And again, this is brand new this week on Game Pass, so you can try it for a little bit, kind of see what I'm talking, or watch a video. Take a look at it, see what it looks like and plays like, and if it's something that interests you. I think it's worth at least checking out, especially if you enjoyed those kinds of again, on old systems they probably were. I mean, like Earthbound or again Chrono, it kind of reminds me of. And if those are something that you have enjoyed in the past, I think this is enough to keep your interest. So
cool.
That is Eastbound. It is not based on anything by John Candy. More is the pity.
Darktide is out on Game Pass as well.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I was kind of I think I'm going to wait until Jared is around to chat about that game. But
yeah,
that game so far seems pretty awesome.
Really? Does it have cross-platform play? I mean, is that?
I don't think so. It doesn't even have cross-platform play on PC, like meaning that Steam can't play with Game Pass people.
Oh,
which is kind of bad.
Well, Game Pass PC is sort of its own weird thing. I've seen situations where that thing doesn't, but I wonder if it's on Epic Games Store.
Battlefield 2042, but I guess that's an EA Play game or whatever.
Yeah, I just feel like whenever I'm on Game Pass PC, I just sort of feel the isolation. Unless you're playing with an Xbox person and it's like PC to console.
Yeah.
Other than that, I feel like you're sort of in your own.
I don't think Darktide's on console though. I think it's only on PC, right? Is Darktide on console?
Yeah, I just think that the Xbox for PC thing just tends to not have that connectivity. So I don't know. It might be.
It is coming to Xbox Series X. Anyway, that game is very good. If you want,
try it out.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Does it have stream? Does it have streaming? I bet it probably does.
If it's on Xbox Game Pass, it probably does
not. Or maybe because I have it installed, I can't even see the option.
But... Oh yeah, that might do it. I don't think the PC app streams at all, actually, unless they've changed it recently.
Oh yeah, xCloud only streams the console games, right? It doesn't stream the actual
PC
versions.
They might update that sometime.
So when they add the Xbox Series X version comes out, I bet it'll be streamable on xCloud, right?
Then I'm in. I'm all in.
Anyway, I won't talk about that until Jared's around because I'm sure he's been playing a bit of that game.
All right.
Vermintide in Space. Sounds pretty good with guns.
Not a bad premise.
Cool. Well, I've got some new releases here, courtesy of tech-gaming.com. There's only a couple big ones here, but they are fairly big releases. At least games that people were looking forward to, that we were probably all collectively hyped, but probably not by here on the
hype, but not by.
First of all, we have the Callisto Protocol. This is the quote wannabe spiritual successor to Dead Space. Yep. Space horror, blah blah blah. It's getting middling reviews, which I've seen. Jeremy's heard some good chatter about it, but
yeah, they've also had like a thing with the added content where there's like a season pass or something that adds more death animations, and people are like, you should get that stuff. And so I've seen there's a little bit
of
yeah,
that seems dumb.
Griping on that.
Also, Marvel's Midnight Suns is out, so I believe this is like a XCOM style turn-based strategy game in the Marvel universe.
I'm pretty hype, but not buy on this one.
Also hype, but not buy.
Yeah.
We have a couple new Destiny guns that are coming out to a Destiny 2 install near you. First of all, Witch on the Holy Night.
That definitely has that, nights and...
It's coming with their Christmas update, right? And the Witch Queen is definitely doing her damn thing. And so, Witch on the Holy Night. Also, Other Side. Yeah, with a CIDE, other side, like kill.
Seems
side.
like a sniper rifle.
Yeah, probably. And also, the Lover Pretend is coming to Destiny. I believe next February, if I'm not mistaken.
That's a sidearm with a little heart charm on it.
Yep. Yeah, little heart dangly, stupid charms. We need something else. This other cosmetic thing to sell. Charms.
Real Marines, the real Green Berets. They have little charms
and stickers that you put on your guns that you can't even look at because you're too busy shooting stuff with them. Anyway, and there's a bunch of some deals and other freebies here we have going on. Marvel's Avengers, yes, that. They finally got the Winter Soldier as a playable character. That was announced a couple of years ago. It's now out, so I don't know, play that. I think
he's kind of just like a dude with a gun. Like I watched some people playing this. And
dude
I'm
with
like,
gun with metal arm.
Yeah, kind of. Like he might just be sort of a lame character, actually.
Probably. Marvel Avengers is on Sony PlayStation Plus, I believe.
Yeah, and I liked it. Again, I would sort of recommend trying it out, but that's me.
I don't know. Other games coming to the Xbox Game Pass this month. Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. That's out right now, so play another Lego game. Why not? Yep. We have The Walking Dead. The final season came out. That's already available now. Metal Hellsinger, which has been available on PC, is coming to the consoles, which is great. A couple of new other ones here. Hello Neighbor 2, if you're into that. I think Jeremy's not into that.
I tried that first one. It sucked. It was bad.
Maybe the second one's
maybe they fixed everything that was wrong with the first one. I don't know.
Aliens Fireteam Elite, which would be a fantastic Game Pass game because I think that game is very good. It's just I don't think it was played a lot. And anyway.
You've got about 10 days to play it because that bottom part is the list of stuff leaving. Actually.
Oh shoot! So. Never mind, I missed that. So that's leaving Game Pass.
Dragon Quest 9 also leaving, which is
that kind of sucks a lot. Yeah. Firewatch also leaving. That's a quick playthrough if you want to play through Firewatch. That's a very good game.
It's a good one. Yeah, that is a good one.
And also Rory McIlroy's PGA Tour is leaving, so I'm kind of pissed off about that. I was really getting into that. I don't really want to shell out even the discounted rate to pick up Rory McIlroy's PGA Tour.
I know.
So I'm just sad to see that one go.
Nobody's out there buying golf games. Sorry, golf games.
Yeah, some games to the games with gold, which I still to this day have never claimed ever. Even
really?
I claim all the PlayStation ones.
That's interesting.
There's a game called Colt Canyon, which has been out for a while. Came out a couple years ago.
Sort of top-down competitive, or not competitive, but kind of a shooter that's like it looks a little bit like Hotline Miami, but in the Old West, kind of a little bit.
Yep. Also, Bladed Fury is coming as well. Came out in 2018. It's been around for a while, but go check that. It's a
side-scrolling
Chinese side-scroller
ninja game.
Yeah, chop game. And finally, they're giving away a free Steam Deck during the Game Awards, one every minute. So tune into that. I think that Game Awards are, if you're listening to this on YouTube, well, you may have seen this before. If you're listening to this on the podcast, Game Awards are over.
Is it this Wednesday?
I think it's the 8th. So it'll be Thursday. Anyway, they're giving away a Steam Deck so you can register to win one of those. So
nice. Do you have to watch? Do you have to be present to win?
I don't know. Call in. Here's a special number with a special code.
Hideo Kojima is operating the switchboard.
Hey, remember I had a Game Bytes show prediction for the Game Awards. I'm going to bring it up right now. The new Hideo Kojima game is going to be announced at the Game Awards.
I bet they'll tease something, but I think it'll be short of an announcement. They'll just show some sort of like teaser trailer, and it'll be given a project name. No, it'll be a project name. It'll be like they'll do a thing where they make some dumb joke out of his name or something. It'll be
that's worth
3,
points.
4, 5. That's
still worth points. Yeah, still worth
half.
Still worth points. Still worth points.
All right. Well, in the news this week, Xbox, Microsoft has announced that beginning next year, this coming year, so like a month from now, they will get on board with everybody else selling new games at the $70 current gen price point. That includes all of the things from their newly acquired studios. Starfield is probably going to be $70.
Unless you pre-ordered it already, right? Right.
Or you get it on Game Pass, in which case you pay just your Game Pass subscription. Yeah. Redfall by Arcane Studios and the Forza Motorsport.
Oh yeah, Redfall, that weird vampire game, right?
Yeah, that'll be cool. That'll be cool for $70.
I thought it was Redwall starring Martin the Warrior. I thought that's
Oh
what it
yeah,
was.
the little mouse. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be cool.
So here's the question: is this going to make us more hype but not buy on games, just in general?
I'm gonna hype and keep buying Game Pass. How about that?
Yeah, there's that too.
Yeah.
But only the discount Game Pass though. Like full price Game Pass is still kind of a lot.
I tend to kind of agree with that.
It's better. It's better than buying each game
However, I
individually.
will say my kids have been playing a decent amount of different Game Pass things recently, and PlayStation Plus games for that matter. So
I honestly think that's mostly what we all play too, just because it's easy to like browse through the list and just like find something.
I
new.
think, and just I want to bring this up just briefly, but I think the Game Pass has ruined something about gaming in general. That a game comes out like Callisto Protocol. And my first thought is, oh, is it on Game
When's
Pass?
it coming to Game Pass? Yeah.
Oh, it's not on Game Pass? Well, I'm hyped but not buy.
Yeah.
If it was on Game Pass, I would totally install it and at least check it out. And maybe I'd even
Hype
play
but
the whole
play
thing.
on-
But is it worth $60 or even $70 at this point? Nah, but if it was on Game Pass.
You know, do you remember 10 years ago, we were already talking about the sustainability of, you know, like middle tier games, B tier games, and, you know, or double A, like AA games as opposed to triple A games and stuff. I wonder if this is upsetting that apple cart even more.
Oh, 100%.
Just like in general, if it's making things less viable.
It's almost like you expect it. If it's that middle tier of a game, that it should be on some sort
like
of
it better
basis.
launch on Game Pass.
It should be on Game Pass, or it should be on, I mean, PlayStation Plus. I don't even know what's going on over there. And quite honestly, it's never in our release list either. Like we never bring it up here. But I'm sure they're adding stuff all the time, right? Are they?
Yeah, monthly they do. But the thing that really bothers me about PlayStation is they've just got those different tiers that make it really difficult to. I mean, I know what I go to look at, but you know, the best I can do is just every once in a while just browse the whole.
Well,
list.
they have one tier that really matters. The middle tier is what matters, and nothing else does.
Yeah, I mean, one thing about the high tier is that you can stream, which you can't do with the others.
Oh, that's true. But if you're streaming, you probably have a PlayStation. Are you streaming on PC? Do people do that?
I do.
I don't know. I don't know.
Not the PlayStation stuff though, but anyway, so other publishers that are already doing this include Ubisoft, Take-Two Interactive, and Sony is already doing this. So if you were like me or hype but not buy on God of War Ragnarok, I don't know if that was a $70 game, but I guess according to this, it is. So I guess I've been sort of hype but not buy on that too. I'd like to play it before the end of the year, but
I think I am getting it for Christmas.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought about it. The other thing though is I really want to. I don't know. I guess there's Christmas break. We'll see what happens. I've got like a hot week where I can, you know, maybe fiddle around with stuff that I wouldn't normally have purchased. But yeah. So, and actually, Midnight Suns is kind of on my hype but not buy. Like I'm. You know, I guess we said that already. Hype but not buy on that. Anyway, so just be aware, costs are going up. Stuff is more expensive, and yet also encouraging you not to buy expensive things somehow.
Also encouraging you to just sign up for Game Pass.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That's what it's doing. Right?
Exactly.
Suddenly, that two $70 games turns into 3 years of Game Pass if you use the trick, right?
If the trick still exists. I hope the trick continues to exist. I got 7 more days on my current subscription.
I've got 3 years, bud. I did it. I did the trick. I'm good.
I gotta find though, because I've seen that I don't know. It seems like they might be cutting it off at some point, but anyway,
hopefully they cut it off in about 4 years, 3.5 years when I resubscribe. I re-up one more time.
Give me another
for the Xbox Series X2, Xbox Series X360. That's when I'm.
That's absolutely what they're calling it, and it's so dumb.
They better call it the Xbox Series X360. I'm gonna be mad.
Xbox Series Xbox 360. Yeah. Well, this week, several studios QA testers, particularly interestingly associated with organizations, entities falling under the whole is Microsoft a monopoly area, voting to unionize, particularly QA testers, which I find kind of interesting that the QA people are the ones.
Let me tell you why, because QA testing sucks ass.
Yeah. I mean, from what I understand, it all does, though, is the thing. But I guess the QA guys are the ones who, you know, have enough extra.
That's probably the worst job at a video game company. I mean, you play a broken ass game for
over and over again.
Over and over and over. Hey, we fixed this bug. Go and try to recreate it again. Okay. Then
It's
you
like
spend 4 hours playing the same section over and over and
Yeah.
over again, trying weird shit to recreate the bug that supposedly is now fixed. And then you finally sign off on it. Then the game releases and it's buggy anyways, and people are mad. And I mean, what a
true.
crappy job. And I know that people are into that. And I have QA people that work for me, not on video game software, and I know that. Like, I don't know how they do it, man. Like, it's just
Yeah. Well,
I can
it
understand why
is,
they want to unionize, because they want better. You know, they want it better for
yeah,
themselves.
sure. Well, QA testers both at Blizzard and also at ZeniMax. So Blizzard, of course, part of the Activision Blizzard entity that Microsoft wants to purchase, and then ZeniMax, which Microsoft owns. And the reason I keep bringing that up is that it's interesting because currently Microsoft is under a ton of scrutiny right now by regulatory bodies to decide whether they are a monopoly. And so if you are crushing your, employees' efforts to get like a better, better working situation, that doesn't look so good on your "Are you a monopoly" bingo card, I guess. That, could be enough to sway the so I actually think it's pretty smart of them to be doing this right now. The only other QA team that I believe has successfully done this is Raven Software, which is also part of Activision Blizzard. They're part of the Call of Duty greater family of studios. So that is kind of interesting. Some of these votes are still ongoing, but probably in the next couple of weeks we will hear that, more than likely that they have, voted to do that. But I just found the timing kind of interesting and kind of slightly, foxy and genius. But time will tell whether this becomes something outside of the immediate concerns of, Phil Spencer and his designs, I guess. So kind of interesting going on there. Other than that, not much going on in the big boy news. So we're going to kick it off with our news speed run to wrap things up. Start that music.
Fortnite, which I played exactly one round of Fortnite today with my son, who begged me to play with him because the new season is out. Fortnite Chapter 4 is out. There's a whole new map. Geralt's in it. The Doom guy's in it. And
Nice.
apparently the game looks pretty good. I think it's got like ray tracing and stuff in it.
I've heard the graphics now are like, because it used to be for years the cartoony kind of look, but I guess it's
still cartoony,
that, no?
but it's just got better shaders and ray tracing and ambient occlusion and stuff like that. So the engine is getting better, as you would expect. But go ahead and do yourself a favor and look up some comparison screenshots of old original Fortnite compared to what it looks like today, and it's pretty different.
Nice.
And by different, I mean just way better. It's like comparing. There's other games that have done this over the years. It's like
old Minecraft with new Minecraft.
I mean, if you think about it, Fortnite was a Xbox One game. Was it older than that?
Xbox 360. I want to say they were playing it on the 360.
Were they when it originally was announced?
I feel like it was a late 360 game.
I would compare it to World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft Classic compared to World of Warcraft today.
Right.
Even World of Warcraft 6 years ago to World of Warcraft today is very, very different. So anyway.
Right. Fuser, which is the Harmonix kind of DJ mixing card game. It's kind of like Drop Mix, but software only. Will go offline and be removed from sale in 2 weeks. I guess that is that is the drawback of stuff like this, where there's like licensing from real musicians.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Things. It's a real bummer. I think the DLC might still be available to purchase. I'm not clear on that, but the game itself, I guess, will go away in about 2 weeks. So if you haven't, it's cool. I think I complained about it might be personal issues, but timing issues, getting like the beats to work quite right. But it's a decent game. And if you haven't played either that or Drop Mix, just kind of a really cool little idea for a music game.
Yeah. The Last of Us TV series, which I think is coming out in January. Does that sound
next
right?
month, I believe. Yeah, I think so.
They had a new trailer that came out, and they used the song "Take on Me" by Aha. And well, it's not very.
It's
good.
bad. I don't like it. I think it's terrible. I think ever since the Mad World, I like it's that this might take it off that top spot. Like it's actually really bad.
The Mad World trailer was actually a pretty good trailer.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just like, it didn't really make any sense though. He's like shooting aliens and stuff, and it's all black and white. And it's like, we're actually sad about this. I'm so sad.
I liked that trailer.
it was fine. No, it wasn't fine. I didn't like it. GameStop laying off a bunch of staff during the busy holiday season amid their earnings report that will come this week. Spoiler alert, earnings report probably not great. GameStop, of course, most recently embroiled in that whole like weird Reddit day trading thing. You know, I think this is the third round of layoffs that GameStop is doing at their corporate offices this year. And even though its share price is up over 500% from where it was before the whole, you know, weird stock inflation thing, but not good enough.
There's a game called Pal World, which is basically like better graphics Pokemon, like not on a Nintendo system Pokemon, with guns.
Yeah.
So you fight alongside your Pokemon against monsters, and you shoot them with guns.
Yeah, like rocket launchers and everything. Like you can fly on your bird Pokemon or whatever and just like shoot rockets down on people. I think this is the edgy, mature Pokemon that I've wanted since the late 90s.
It looks kind of cool. It looks kind of cool.
I'm pretty hyped but not buy on it. But if somebody else buys it,
hype but play on Game Pass.
Hype but play on Game Pass. If someone else wants to play, because there's another game like Temtem that was another sort of Pokemon thing, and it was better than the Pokemon Violet and Scarlet and whatever that was all super buggy. If someone else out there listening to this wants to play a Pokemon style game, I will go in on this with you and play it multiplayer, either Temtem or Pal World. I just like the idea of shooting Pokemon with machine guns. Speaking of other things that are edgy,
I've got a thing to mention really quick.
Oh, what's that?
There is a phenomenon going on the internet where if you search you pick a game, doesn't matter. Pal
on
World.
Game Pass?
On Game Pass. There's clickbaity, shitty articles on specific websites where the whole point of the article is to say, well, this game is not coming to Game Pass, and there's a whole bunch
but here's a whole bunch of ads.
Here's a bunch of information about this game, and at the very end of the article, it'll say, it's not coming to Game Pass, though. It might in the future, but the developer has not confirmed anything.
I feel like AI are making those. Like some dude is probably up a bunch of...
Pal World coming to Game Pass? Shows up in my results. Let's see. Oh, they have added Xbox Series, Xbox One. Is it coming to Game Pass?
Ooh. The developer has not said.
Oh,
no.
Anyway,
man.
Not available.
Well, speaking of social engineering in video games, Sonic the Hedgehog fans are pushing for a Sonic sweep, quote unquote, in the player's voice category for the Game Awards. And it may look like it's happening. Sonic is going to sweep this one category because of all the adult Sonic the Hedgehog lifelong fans. But actually, it's winning against competition like Genshin Impact, which also has its own kind of weird little cohort of people who are probably more into it than they should be. Elden Ring, it's coming out over the top of Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, and Stray, which is tailing this with 2% of the overall vote.
There's no voice in Stray. Cat meows.
It's the player's choice. So it's player's voice because the players get to choose. You get to use your voice and tell people that you have a Sonic the Hedgehog body pillow.
Is there a way to see which games are winning the Game Award categories?
Probably. I mean, at least the ones that are votable. I mean, there's the game. I think the URL is Jeff Keighley's The Game Awards presented by Jeff Keighley and HideoKojima.com. It's probably
how do you spell Jeff though?
Geoff.
Oh, so Geff. Got it.
Yeah, Geff Keighley. Yeah. So anyway, Sonic the Hedgehog may make an appearance at the Game Awards, unfortunately.
I heard it's
a good game, though.
The Witcher 1 remake, guys, is going to be an open world game, according to CD Projekt Red. I believe it's going to be built on the same engine that the new Witcher 4 is being built on. So
I was going to hope they built it on the Cyberpunk engine. I want to see that thing just buggy as all get out.
Well, nah.
Yeah.
I mean, I bet Cyberpunk is probably built on the Witcher 3 engine, which is probably why it's...
Oh, really?
Is it that bad? I have no idea. That bad? Witcher 3 is not bad. Witcher 3 had a new...
well, no, but Cyberpunk was like buggy for a whole year.
For a whole 2 years. That game's been out for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're not playing Cyberpunk. You know what I mean?
That's true. I ended up being pretty hyped, but not buy on Cyberpunk. Final Fantasy 16 is going to be rated M due to scenes that include torture, sexual content, both shown and discussed, and hate crimes.
Hate crimes?
Apparently.
Overwatch has hate crimes too against robots.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The robots.
It wasn't rated M though.
No, was not.
That's interesting. That's a first for the Final Fantasy
That's new
series.
for Final Fantasy. That's right.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're going for that gritty realism, I guess.
It's time. It's time.
So players on the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a American football team, Philadelphia Eagles. Apparently, they all get in on GTA Online and they role play with each other. So,
does that make it cool now? Like, what do we think about this? Is that a?
Well, listen. Everyone always jokes about how fantasy football has always been like D&D, or D&D for not nerds, I guess. For I don't know, that weird thing that gamers think is weird, like fantasy football. Like what is going on? But anyway,
so this just confirms NFL football players are just bulky nerds in tight pants.
I think that, I mean, gaming is so prevalent in general nowadays. Like the fact that these mid 20-year-old dudes aren't playing video games is just insane. Like, of course,
but Grand Theft Auto Online role playing servers, though, like I'm gonna get in the taxi and drive someone around. That's just not what you'd think.
Okay, Call of Duty is probably what you would think. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to.
The dude bros only play Call of Duty, right? Is that what they do?
Sorry. I mean, yeah, that's how it is. That's you think it don't be that way, but that's how it be.
Yeah.
Guys, that is going to do it for this Speedrun News. It's going to do it for this episode of your Game Bytes Show podcast. I want to thank you all for listening. LeGrand Jolly, thank you for being with us all the way to the end.
Oh, you are welcome, sir.
And if you have anything that you want to tell us about news that we have overlooked, news that we have commentated poorly on, video games that you're playing, video games that we're playing, find us on social media. We're on Twitter. You can let us know all about that at Game Bytes Show on Twitter collectively. You can also reach out to us individually. I am at Jeremy_Lamont.
You can find me at LeGrand.
Our two absent co-hosts for this evening, Dale Jones is at Count Elmdor. Jared Red-Eye Dunn is at RED_I. You can also find us over at youtube.com/GameByteShow, where we do this thing live, sometimes with bonus content, just like tonight. So if you're listening to this syndicated, go check us out on YouTube and listen to the whole thing again. New Game Plus. You get different endings or different middles or something like that. You can also find us at GameByteShow.com. There you'll find a back catalog of all of our syndicated podcast episodes. You'll also find a link to our Discord server, open invite. Come join us. Maybe you can get a game of Call of Duty going on. I don't know, maybe Pal World, I don't know, maybe something like that. All kinds of good stuff there. We'll let you know about freebies, including if you're listening to this on YouTube, you'll know about the time-sensitive 12 Days of Christmas campaign that No Gravity Games is doing. Get in on that right now, otherwise it's too late. And just other things that we find around the internet that are free for you, so that you don't have to, you can be hype and get for free. That's the big brain. That's the galaxy brain strategy for video games these days. And of course, we'll be back to do this again in all of these venues and more at your Game Bytes Show podcast. Until then, this has been your show. I want to thank you again for being with us, and we will see you next time.
See ya.
Bammo.
Just like that, huh?
Bammo blammo. Let's save that. And I got to publish last week's thing. That kind of got away from me today. Boink.
Bow, bow, bow. I'm so excited for my speakers to come tomorrow.
What if I wonder. Never mind. I was just gonna say, I wonder if it's like more complicated than. I guess if you've got the receiver already, you've got everything you need to plug it in, so it's not like you're gonna.
And it comes with speaker wire. I already bought a subwoofer RCA cable.
Nice.
And I got that hooked up. And I got all my stuff running through it. I got my high-end HDMI cables, and I just need the speakers, and I got to run them. I got to get stands for the rear surrounds. That's what I need to get still. So I don't know what to do about that yet.
I think I'm actually about due for an upgrade, but for me, since I've got a hardwood floor, I kind of want wireless satellites. And there is one, but the last one I saw, it was like a $1,700, state of the art.
I saw some that are wireless, but they have like a receiver station that connects into the wall that powers them.
Right, correct.
There's a Sony one that's actually not terribly expensive for the whole setup.
Really?
They have them at Best Buy. You can go check them out, but they have the wireless receiver. I don't know where I would plug those in. I mean.
Yeah, I have an outlet back behind my couch.
Yeah, your couch is right against the back wall. Mine's going to be open.
Right. Yeah.
So I've got to run wire probably underneath my couches, and then pop it out to. I got to buy stands for my rear speakers for the surround. It's pretty cool. The receiver, you actually set up a little microphone, like where you sit, and then you say, "All right, receiver, program the sound."
Yeah.
And it like starts playing stuff, and it adjusts so the microphone,
like how it hears what it's. Yeah, you know, Rock Band did that at one point. Like you could hold the guitar
really?
up to the like some of the newer later Rock Band guitars. You could like hold the guitar up to the. I don't know how it worked, and it would like calibrate itself somehow. So I've seen that.
Interesting.
Before.
Yeah. So it should be. That's pretty cool, I think. So I gotta do all that tomorrow when they come.
Well, cool. And then directly to Bullet Train, or is that a?
It's either Bullet Train or Die Hard tomorrow.
Tough choice.
My kids have never seen Die Hard, but I've never seen Bullet Train. None of us have seen Bullet Train, but it is Christmas.
It is Christmas. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
And then I've been watching Westworld and the Game of Thrones Dragons, whatever the new one is.
Oh,
which is pretty good.
Really? Was it the same one from like a month or two ago?
Yeah, it's out already. I think it's all the way done. We're just we've been slowly making our way through it.
Yeah. I just don't tend to watch a lot of TV these days. Like it just takes a lot of time that
Neither do I.
I could be spending.
Whenever my wife and I do sit down to watch TV, we end up watching like 2 or 3 episodes of something, and then we don't watch it again for a while.
Oh, well, I guess that's how you know.
She watches a lot of TV more than I do, because that's how. I play video games. She watches TV.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Oh, you know what else I forgot to talk about on the show? The new Mario Kart tracks come out this week. Darn it, I forgot about that.
Nah, nobody cares.
No, they're really good. I care.
Just kidding.
I mean, I don't know.
Guess I'll stop the stream.
Bye.
Goodbye, YouTube.